Welcome to my channels, guys. Today I'm gonna tell you about top best tips for beginners for max efficiency in Timberborn. Let's get it started. When a game loads in, the first things first you wanna do is just build a path and go straight for a water tower, like a water pump, a deep water pump. Now I know some guys are gonna say, like, why do you even build this deep water pump? Like, you need wood for that. You need to first build like gathering flags and all that stuff. True, all of which I agree with. The thing is, the moment you start, building a water pump, you won't forget it in the future. So that's the only reason why I constructed like this. And there is an option for beginners if you don't know it. In the district center, you can increase the number of workers. For starters, I'll tell you to like increase it to 4. Because it makes all the construction a lot faster. And don't worry about building this gatherer flag or lumberjack flag. Both of them require 0 resources. You only need living beavers or some beavers to work on it. That's all that matters. And another important tip, when you place a lumberjack flag, don't forget to mark the resources that you want to cut. These are like basics of you. If you went to the tutorial, you might know this stuff, but don't worry. I'm just like covering for every single new player, or beginners out there. So once they start building it, once they start cutting it, make sure you have 0 unemployed beavers. And now all you have to do is reduce the workers and build more lumberjack flags, and keep things going. Now we're going to talk about most important thing in Timberborn, that is these pathways. You can say like pathways, like it doesn't matter as long as you connect the buildings, but the pathways in which you connect the buildings is very important. So let's consider, like, I'll demolish this pathway once, like here, and I'll explain it to you guys. Construct this line right around here, and if this makes a line green, that means it's like easier for the beavers to travel all this while and to reach this water pump. But if I put this pathway, and this is an extreme example, but let me just build the longest pathway possible, like this, like some weird pathway, like, bending around, going all about. Like if you observe it, it has become red. Now it will turn green because I've connected that pathway. But if I connect this and delete this path, because I've made so many bends, so many corrections, so many inefficient pathway network like this, the pathway literally become red, and it's like 103 distance from the town center, like the district center. So the beavers will take a really long time to reach there, which is terribly bad. This tip is not really used in the early game. It is good for late game. Like if you're gonna plan to go for late game stuff, start putting the paths first and then start constructing it. Anything, put the path first before you construct anything. That's the way you should do it. And a lot more tips and tricks I'll be telling you guys, so stay tuned. And the next tip is gonna be to create a water storage as close as possible to a water pumping station. You can say you can create it like far away right here, but the problem is the beavers are going to take a long time. Like whenever the beaver pumps this thing, if you don't have haulers, the moment they start pumping this stuff, they have to take this stuff. Once this water thing is filled up, they got to take the excess water and put it in a water dump, like on a water storage tank like this. So the closer it is, they don't have to travel a long distance. Like if you build it like far away like this, like it just reduces the time, for the log pumpers to effectively just keep pumping the log, this up and down motion like this all the time. So yeah, build the water storage as close as possible here. I'll show the difference once it's all constructed, and I'll choose water. And after this, we're gonna construct a lumber and wood storage. I know it's not really needed for early game, but if you want to progress a lot further, we have a lot more wood than is necessary, especially for easy mode or normal mode. I would suggest you to construct like small warehouses along these lines, or like small industrial pile just to store food. Like right now you can see like this guy is like the storage is filled up with berries. To construct a small warehouse along this line or somewhere around here, you can get utilize this worker to collect more berries. For wood, you don't necessarily need it. I mean, 20 logs, but if you start constructing it, it's all right. It doesn't matter much. and demolish this blockage too. Like if this wood storage is constructed, let me show you guys how long it takes for them to travel. Until then, let's go to the another step, one of the most important stuff in this game, called the inventor hut. The inventor hut, basically it gives you nothing. All it does is like, gives you research points to unlock new stuff. Doesn't give you food, water, accommodation, nothing like that. So for later games, I would suggest you to just, go for number crunchers if you have them, or just use bots for inventor huts. Try to utilize these dry regions for buildings that doesn't require water. In the sense, if make sure all your green lands are available for planting stuff. So once this research center is built, deploy like 2 to 3 of them if you can. I would suggest like go for 1 or 2 at the max for starters, and then you can build on top of it, or like build how many other things you want, because at the start you get limited amount of wood resources. So I wouldn't suggest you like go build like 50 to 100 of these research center huts, so like in inventor huts. And a good tip for all beginners, do not buy any well-being stuff for now, except for the teeth grindstone and for the medic bed. Don't buy those stuff right now. Don't waste yourself on decorations. Don't waste the research point on anything else. Just get this inventor hut, and then the first and foremost thing you're gonna unlock is called a forester. Try to go for this forester as soon as possible. So next thing, building farmhouses. Like berries are sufficient food source for beavers, but it's not really that enough. You need to build more, you need to take more. So I would suggest you to build these farmhouses in a greenland area that covers a large distance. So like this region, or like here, maybe here. Yeah, this covers a huge region, so I'll build one right here, and I build another one around here. I would always suggest people, everybody to like build 2 farmhouses and set 1 to planting and 1 to harvest. For now, build just one of them, like pause one, build both of them at the same time before you have a forester. Just build 1 farmhouse, and after the wood is wood is constantly like depleting. You can see it right here. Once this wood goes off, then the game becomes incredibly hard. So make sure you use the starter wood as much as possible. So once this farmhouse is done, make sure you plant whatever that is in the first thing. For me, like for iron teeth, it's called rabies. I think for fox tails, it's like carrots or something. Don't make a small patch, make like a huge one, like this huge at least, to support all beavers. Like this huge of a one. Maybe I'll create a huge patch around here. Yeah, you can replace it whenever you want, but try to create a huge patch, because the farmers will be busy planting. It'll take quite a time for them to grow, for these plants to grow up, like 3 days. So in 3 days they'll have time to plant all this stuff. This is one of the reasons why I don't want new players to be construct a lot of the buildings in green places, like green patches. And next, moving on, after you're done with the farmhouse, the research center, just keep the research center going, and make sure your research center has somebody inside it at all times, no matter what. If it's dry region, snow region, wet region, it doesn't matter, because this person, May, is gonna be the person who is gonna resurrect beaver civilization. Like, you need an inventor for sure. You can see it's like we just have 12 beavers, or 12 homeless beavers. You can construct houses if you want, if you have the wood, you wanna go down that road, but I won't suggest it for beginners or noobs, because wood is limited resource. So it's fine, don't worry about it at all. They can manage. So instead of constructing a house, I would rather suggest you to build a breeding pod. So for foxtails, you got no other option. You have to build a house for you to expand your beaver population. But with this iron tail civilization, that's the only advantage you got. But it requires 10 logs, so sure, be mindful of how many beaver pods you build, breeding pods you build. See this cute little beaver sleeping. I think they changed the animation for sure. Yeah, it's as if they're listening to some kind of music. And once the beavers are employed, they start planting everywhere. That's all you need. That's all it ever takes to get this kohlrabies going. They don't need any kind of pruning or weeding or anything like that. They'll just go on its own. So don't worry about it. How much log do I have? 33 logs. That is a decent amount, I would say, to have in the for starter maps. So at this point, let the research point keep growing. Go for this forester as soon as possible. But if you can, if you have the logs, go for a lumber mill. Because for forester, you need planks. And now there is another important thing I have to tell you. Like water wheels or power wheels, like manual labors, like using beavers for power or water for power. I would highly suggest anybody who is new to this game to use water wheel as much as possible and try to get a place which has a good water flow. This changes things a bit. But yeah, if you can't get power like this anyway whatsoever, build this stuff, but it just takes too much logs, so I won't recommend doing it. Maybe I'll construct something like here. Yeah, let me just try. I don't want to waste all this stuff. Maybe I'll just pause this for a second. And this new Timberborn update has the ability to, like, let you delete things and you get the resource back. At least like 50% of it. So yeah, let me delete this. So I get 8 logs back. Just high prioritize whenever you deconstruct something. You'll get the resource faster. So go for the lumber mill, but now we gotta discuss an important point. Which thing you gonna get first to store water? Are you gonna get a dam piece? We're gonna use a floodgate. For me, I would highly recommend a floodgate because a dam piece costs 20 logs and a floodgate is basically 15 logs. Like, hear me out. Like, I know it costs plank, but if you go to lumber, like industrial lumber mill right here, what it does is like takes 1 log and gives me 1 plank. So if you have enough science points, go for this. Like, I started this research center a bit late. And I know I started it a bit late, but if you have enough science points, sure do get a floodgate first. I would suggest you to get this floodgate after you get the forester. Forester is first always. So for now, I think I'll just construct a small, let's say, dam right here. And I don't want to construct more dams. I don't want to waste my wood. Just got 14 woods. And of course, if you're lucky enough to choose a map that has this much starter wood without the forester, then you're good. I'll just mark all these for, demolition, deconstruction, or like, general eating stuff. I know woods like, beavers like chop wood and stuff, but it looks more like they eat it. And with the iron teeth, here's an added advantage that you can work for 18 hours a day. You don't have to necessarily work just to like 16 hours like usual. And once these 2 beavers are deployed in the industrial lumber mill, you can see here, see right here, it's just 0.03 hours, 1 wood is converted to 1 plank. So it is pretty easy for you to get a floodgate instead of a dam piece. But right now, I didn't construct this research facilities like, inventor towers sooner. So I don't think I can build that thing before the drought starts, but let's see. If I can, I'm lucky. If I don't, it's fine. No, not a big deal at all. I got like 60 science points. This requires like 60. So time for me to unlock the forester. And this thing is the most important building in an entire beaver game, like beaver community. I would say the most important top tier building ever. Because without this, beavers cannot survive. Without wood, beavers can never survive. I know I talked about pathways, but these trees are getting in the way. Don't worry, once these grows up and once I'm done with this forester, I'll plan my pathways accordingly. So after that, after constructing your forester, you don't need planks. You can literally just pause this, let the beavers do other work if they want. And our dam is constructed. This is why I don't recommend dams, because you can never lower or higher this stuff. We were in a pinch, so yeah. And now for crossing these rivers, lakes, or any kind of water bodies, people will say there's like 3 strategies to do it. I'm gonna tell you every single one of them. One is to use platforms. You can use platforms to cross any kind of crossing like this, or you can use these dams too. Like, you can literally construct a path on top of it. You can do that. It's not a problem at all. And then there is a sneaky strategy where they use storages like these small warehouses or small industrial piles, and they'll build right across this. You cannot really build it while it's being flooded. Like, it's right here, it's just 1 layer down, like 1 level down with water, so you can build it. But if it's like really deep water, I don't think you can build it without the help of stairs. So I mean, you can build it. It just requires like 3 logs, but you're gonna waste 3 to 4 logs to build every single one of those roads, and you can't even use them. The only time you can use them is during the drought. But realistically speaking, what's the point of even having something that you can't even use? So I would highly suggest you to unlock the stairs and build a stair right here and a stair right there, and use the underwater path. And with this newest update, beavers can walk underwater. If you click on a beaver, they have a new need called wet fur. Yeah, wet fur in the basic needs. Like, it's a basic need now. So it is better to have stairs because it actually satisfies the wet fur thing too. Now, for planting planks, planting wood, I would say most beginners would go for either birch or pine, or some would say like go for oak, or there are no last end version. Like, even if you use foxtails, you have similar plants like this, similar trees like this, the exact same thing. Like, but they might not, foxtails might not have mangroves, but iron teeth have them. Also have aquatic farmhouses, which iron teeth don't have. When you plant your wood, try to get an assortment of woods. Like, in the sense, have a small patch for oak. This is just for the starters. Like, once you build to the advanced stage, once you have so much logs and wood that you no longer need anything else, go for the lace the entire map with birch, and not birch, lace the entire map with oak instead. But for starters, you do need birch. You do need a bit of birch along this line. So build birch and have a bit of pine. If you have unlocked stairs, go for any kind of underwater, like mangoes and stuff. But don't build that mango without constructing a dam, because it will dry out. Like any other aquatic plant, it's gonna dry out really fast. So once both these farmhouses are being constructed, set one to plant and set one to harvest. In that way, one farmhouse will focus on planting and one will focus on harvesting. In the sense, if you set it to planting, these beavers will harvest stuff too. They will prioritize on planting first before harvesting. In the sense, the moment they harvest something, like the moment they harvest this kohlrabi, they're gonna go plant it first and then go for harvest, which takes a lot of time, because harvesting requires a lot of time. And I would suggest you to just go for this strat. It's like way better. So go to trees, build mangoes, build oaks, whichever you want. Make your happy little place a bit more beautiful. That's all you gotta do. And these guys are the best top tips for all beginners for Timberborn. Thank you guys for watching. See you soon. If you like my video, like it. If you dislike my video, dislike it. Do hit that subscribe button. And thank you guys for watching. Cheerio.